8:30. We'll get the party started. Notice is hereby given of a regular meeting of the City of San Angelo Development Corporation to be held on September 27th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. at the East Mezzanine of City Hall, 72 West College Avenue, San Angelo, Texas, for the purpose of considering the following agenda items. Number one, we'll call the meeting to order. It is 8:31. Number two, Director Mantuf, will you please lead us in prayer?
God, we come to you this morning a humble people, and we're grateful for the wisdom that you have provided around this table. We ask your influence and your patience as we work to make this a better place to live, work, and play. We ask your blessing on all those who are in attendance, and may the conversations at our table be pleasing to you. We pray in your most holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. 3, public comment. Issues or items that are not on the agenda may be raised by the public at this time. Citizens should speak from the podium, begin by stating their name, and limit remarks to less than 3 minutes. Board members may request that a discussed item be placed on a future agenda. The board takes public comment on all regular agenda items during the discussion of those items. Do we have any public comment? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to number 4, the consent agenda. A, consider approving the necessary corporation disbursement. B, consider approving the regular meeting minutes of August 30th, 2023. C, consider approving the August 2023 financials. And D, consider approving a sponsorship for the 2023 Governor Small Business Summit for an amount not to exceed $1,000 and authorizing the board president or their designee to execute all necessary documents. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a first by Director Jones, second by Director Mantuf. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to number 5, regular agenda. A, Business Resource Center Economic Impact Report, presentation by Desiree Johnson.
Hello.
Morning.
Hello, board. How are y'all today?
Good, how are you?
Good. It is truly an honor to be here to present today on the success of the Business Resource Center. I've also invited Dave Erickson, retired director of the Business Resource Center, because even though I have been with the SBDC for many years, not as long as the history of the BRC. So the BRC is actually celebrating its 10th anniversary. Is that right? 10 years this year. And so if was anybody there for the grand opening many years ago? Rick was. Yeah, very good. We won't call you out. Sorry about that, Rick. Well, I just wanted to share with y'all a little bit about the Business Resource Center. And so you have a packet here with some more detailed information, but I just wanted to go over some of the major highlights, and that is our Business Factory program. As you all know, it's a partnership program facilitated by the City of San Angelo Development Corporation, and the SBDC plays a role in helping to market the space, encourage small business clients to take advantage of the incubator program, as well as provide that one-on-one guidance once they have entered into the program. We also have an advisory council that sits for the Business Factory, made up of local professionals that provide support services to those small businesses that are working to grow within the incubator. And we currently have 4 tenants upstairs. And you can see here one of the offices decorated very nicely. That's Miss Whitney Watson-Wood posing for an impromptu shot in her office there at the Business Factory. I want to talk a little bit about the economic impact, too, of the Small Business Development Center as one of the major tenants in the building. And a driver for small business impact. You know, one of the questions is, how do we work together to serve the business community? And so there are a lot of efforts that are done in the way of recruitment and business retention through the Chamber of Commerce partnership. And we fill the gap on the small business side. And so typically we see clients anywhere from 500 or fewer employees. That's a stretch for us. Typically, our clientele is 20 or fewer employees, but we do have some larger businesses as well that we serve. And we've seen over 549 clients this year. This is October 1 of 22 to yesterday's numbers. We see quite a few of those clients as repeat clients that visit the SBDC offices regularly. We consider those long-term clients. With over almost 2,500 advising hours for the year. So time spent face-to-face with clients, assisting them with business growth. We host about 83 events, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that attendance and how that's reflected at the Business Resource Center in the upcoming slide. And just want to point out some of our business starts and expansions. Over 40 starts and almost 30 business expansions throughout the year, creating 153 jobs and helping to retain 79 with a capital infusion of over $9 million. So, playing a big role, and the space that we have in the Business Resource Center helps us facilitate this mission and carry this out to be a premier resource provider of small businesses in the Concho Valley. We also work with Nora and the Costa DC team to facilitate many different events that are hosted by the Business Resource Center Partnership. And so that consists of this previous year-to-date from January to September. We've hosted 41 events and had over 500 attendees, and those are events that are hosted by economic development partners, maybe Howard College, downtown San Angelo. The Business Resource Center truly does serve as a hub, not only for internal activity, for partner meetings and networking, but also for those economic partners to then relay their tools and information to the public through the use of the Dave Erickson training room and the conference rooms that we have available. And so you can see there in your packet some of the amenities that are offered, and then the room rates that we do charge, which are very minimal in order to keep a professional atmosphere open and available for folks to use. Businesses can also rent this space, so we find that SBDC clients sometimes need a more professional setting, or they need to do HR training or something of that nature, and they can utilize the space as well. And then I just want to point out the original partners. In doing some research for this and taking the helm, I've done a lot of deep dives into our archives from when the Business Resource Center was started, from the original planning and conversations to many memos back and forth between ASU, the city, the development corporation, and then ultimately the final decision to invest in the project. And it's been very enlightening and very neat to see how long that project took to come to fruition and the success that it has been over the years. And so just wanted to point out, as partners come and go, out of these different partner organizations, we've had many new faces over the past many years. And so just a reminder of the guiding principles are there on your packet, talking about what the facility is, which is truly a goal to house various economic development and business assistance organizations, with each organization being separately and individually advertised, but also coming together as a strong economic partnership. The fact that it is a single source, it was designed to be a hub of information, and I think that's one area that Costa DC and ASU have really become the point people of. It's our job to know where to send folks for resources and try to bring those resources in as available to serve them through the Business Resource Center. And then these efforts here of our measurement and return on investment of the building itself and the goodwill that it has within the community downtown in San Angelo, as well as marketing and communicating to the partners the use of the space and the vision behind it, and keeping that strong throughout our 10-year history. So does anybody have any questions or would like to hear any more history of the building?
Guess we're good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for the time today.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Desiree. Okay, moving on to item B, Keep San Angelo Beautiful Fiscal Year Activities Report, presentation by Charlotte Anderson.
I'll just press the middle one to go forward. Fantastic. Super, super, super. Thank you. So it's a great honor and a pleasure to be with you today. Nora, thank you, among other things, for allowing us to be in your office, in your building. It's made a huge difference and an impact on our success, and we're really excited to bring you a few details of our organization. So, mission to create awareness and maintain clean, green, and beautiful spaces through art, science, and education. Vision, we take action every single day to create safe neighborhoods, thriving community, and beautification to increase economic growth and development of our businesses to enhance the quality of life in San Angelo, Texas. Our community engagement also fosters a better workforce as we increase the love of the environment through intentional acts of service and purposeful team building. And we're very grateful for your support in that endeavor. Okay, trash cleanups. So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. We've had about 33. The data that you're seeing is through 2022. So 33 cleanups, and we have all kind of different groups that work with this, from elementary students at Santa Rita Elementary to our DZs at Angelo State University, our National Junior Honor Society who cleaned at Chadburn. We had a group on the transition team from Angelo State University this year that's already been out in the field. Our Don't Mess with Texas trash off, and then our little Cub Scouts at the bottom. Our fall sweep, which is coming up, is going to be October the 14th. We already have 433 people registered with 33 different teams, and we're still 2 weeks out. And we've challenged our elementary schools and high schools, and right now we probably have about 8 teams from SAISD participating. So we're really grateful, and that's increasing our numbers exponentially. And here we go with tires. Our next tire event will be November the 4th. We've picked up right at 20,000 tires on 25 different 18-wheelers. These tires go to Burnett, Texas, so they do not go to the landfill. They're 100% recycled, chipped into 1-inch squares, mostly used for tire-derived fuel. The metals are stripped and sent to a steel foundry for rebar and angle iron products. And here's our hazardous waste team. We had about 110 participants last year. Our next hazardous waste event will be Saturday, May the 11th. And again, we get teams from all over the Concho Valley, from Ethicon to Blue Cross Blue Shield. We also get our groups from the State Supported Living Center, First Community Federal Credit Union, Dakota Coffee. We want to, of course, shout out to Republic Services for their sponsorship and enhancing this event with roll-offs, and the City of San Angelo for helping us chart our path with Street and Bridge. They have been really fantastic partners. On trees, this year we got a grant for 200 trees from the Apache Corporation. That was matched by the Tucker Foundation. So we'll be giving away 500 trees to the community this year. We're real excited about that. A portion of those trees go to all of our SAISD campuses. This is the 3rd year we've provided approximately 3 trees on each campus. We have also given trees to Howard College, Angelo State University, the City of San Angelo. They put them in the greenhouse and let them grow a little stronger. And then our community last year. So looking forward to that. And in your top right, we're seeing Ella, who saves the oceans. She's gathered over 33,000 plastic bags in our community. We're real proud to support her. She also accompanied us to our Keep Texas Beautiful conference this year, where she was able to talk about her initiatives. She sells her bags, Ella Saves the Oceans, and then donates proceeds to a turtle rescue in Florida. She also started a Net Trucks project this year. She's collected over 500 pounds of plastics in addition to her 33,000 plastic bags. And Net Trucks is sending her a bench, and it's a recycle bench. It will be placed at Fort Concho Elementary with Miss Barton, and we will provide a boulder and a plaque in honor of Ella and her work in the community. So we are real excited about that. So education, one of our favorite topics. Not only do we serve our elementary students, we go all the way up to middle school with National Junior Honor Society, and high schools also with Honor Society and organizations, and then even our college. Last night, we were with our Honor Society students at ASU, helping them go through the process of selecting nonprofits to work with through the year. So we hopefully will have a student that will be with us. We were also able to do a presentation the night before to their entire group. So that was just fantastic. I have Sustainable September up here with Ethicon. We do a couple of different presentations there, one for Keep San Angelo Beautiful, and on the city side with water conservation. Our children's program is called KSAB Junior Ambassadors, and we work that through our YMCA after-school program. So we have over 2,200 kids that we mentor through Earth Day and America Recycles Day, providing literature on the environment at those times. And we participate in health fairs, volunteer fairs, stress less fairs, everything that goes on at Angelo State University, Earth Day, the transition fair. So we're very active with all of our students and have a broad range of education, as well as doing presentations for groups and organizations throughout the community. And we're starting a youth advisory council. So we have our KSAB Junior Ambassadors, but we wanted to find a way to bring our kids in on a regular basis. So our kickoff meeting is going to be November 8th. And HEB just started an environmental initiative with 5 little environmental movie shorts, and they are just so phenomenal. So one of the little shorts, like 8 minutes, is about camping. The other one is on bears. They have one on bats, on ocelots and wolves. And it's going to be very exciting for the kids to learn about nature and the processes of these animals, a lot of them who will be in the state of Texas. So it's just really exciting. And these kids, they pledge to never litter, to recycle when they can, to make their community a better place to live, work, and play. And they get the t-shirt, the KSAB Junior Ambassador t-shirt, and a little certificate that's personalized. So we're really excited to do that. And let's go forward to awareness. So we did have a board retreat this year that was phenomenal. And we work with Deja at KLST. We have sponsored this segment called Coffee Talk, and we are just really thrilled to be with her and have that sponsorship as a nonprofit. It's just fantastic for us. We also have a private coffee label that Dakota did for us, and you can get that at Froyo downtown, Cowboy Up Chocolates, and we are now in the Chamber of Commerce. So you can pick that up on their shelves of local items, and you also have in your bag a packet of that that's just fabulous. It will be your favorite taste in San Angelo, without saying that. We have a Christmas card on the river. We received a TxDOT proclamation and a Daryl the Barrel. So we're real proud of our barrel. And then quickly on this story here, see a bunch of handsome men there that are basketball players at Angelo State University. So we got a call to the landfill. I have some paint. I need to do something with my paint. Can you help me? What do I do to recycle this paint? And I need to tell you, I'm 95 years old. You need to know I'm 99 years old, and I don't know what to do. So I get a call from Tina at the landfill. Charlotte, we got this guy. He's got this paint. I know it's not a big deal. How can we help? I'm like, oh, Tina, we don't go to people's houses. It's not a thing. And she's like, oh, that's okay, that's okay. I said, look, he can take the lids off, let the paint dry out. Let's just get that in the trash, and he'll be good. She's like, you got to call him. I told him someone would call him. Please just call him. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll be happy to call him. What's his name? Give me the number. And she's like, well, his name is Philip George. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm sure you all know Mr. George, basketball coach and coach of many other things. So I called the basketball coach at Angelo State University. I said, hey, Mr. George needs a little help. Could we just have a little meeting at his house, maybe a little team building, a little inspirational talk? And I said, this would be great for your guys. So sure enough, the coach grabbed as many guys as this was a very short order. We came on a Friday morning. And it was absolutely phenomenal. I don't know who enjoyed it more, Mr. George or the basketball players. So just a total win-win, great educational opportunity to talk about paints. Did he have a lot of paint? He had a few buckets of paint. It was no big deal. We just had a little assembly line, and we took care of the paint for him. But Mr. George's, his great speech and words to the guys was to live a long, healthy life, be prosperous and happy, and be married for 60 years, is to really form a good plan of discipline. So I think everybody will take that message along, and again, just very inspirational and a really fun time. So let's go to beautification. So we were really excited to partner with Art in Uncommon Places as they were building their plans to do these 10 murals that would be augmented. We were the first partner in for 4 murals, and we just celebrated that with a ribbon cutting with the chamber, and all of these murals have been brought to life through an app called iJack. And so you can download the app, and then you click on a QR code from Art in Uncommon Places, and it uploads these murals, these 10 murals. And so when you go by, you put your phone, and they all come to life. So we're so proud to be a part of that collaborative process. There is no technology in West Texas that displays this. I think they have it in the airport in Austin. But I know the ladies, Dr. Gigi, and their team are just really, really proud. Julie and them have done a good job. The collaboration was with the Central High School students and Scarlett Rodriguez's classroom. So I'm really happy to be a part of that. I've got some ladies here that are showing what we do with the plastic bags. So they cut them into 1 3/4 inch strips. They tie loops, and they make a ball of yarn. And this is where the 33,000 plastic bags that Ella gets goes. These ladies are in Merton, and they are with United Methodist Church, and they make mats for the homeless. So here's a few of our highlights in our short years. We started our office February the 18th in 2020 and joined Keep Texas Beautiful. We've been a Gold Star affiliate for 3 years. We've been a Governor's Community Achievement Award of Sustainable Excellence for 3 years. This year, we also won the Keep Texas Beautiful Beautify Texas Award for Public Education and Outreach. We are a KTB HEB Green Bag grant winner, which has provided a tremendous amount of funding for our students. 3 years, and a recycling winner in 2023 that helped with the murals, and then our planner for our students. Keep Texas Beautiful judge for the Governor's Community Achievement Award, Texas Beautiful conference and webinar presenter. We are a mentor, we are a mentee. We work with Little Elm, Brazos, Big Lake, and Keep Andrews Beautiful. We've won the Apache Tree Grant for 3 years in a row. We've probably had 8 to 10 proclamations. We've been featured in San Angelo Lifestyles, Texas Town and City. Last year, our story was on the tires. This year, our story is on a really special book, and it's called Beauty in the Book, that we received from Fort Concho Elementary. Incredible book, 26 Ways to Keep San Angelo Beautiful, and it goes to the alphabet. So the kids actually did watercolor illustrations, and then they wrote a little poem like a Shakespearean sonnet. It's a AABBCC rhyming pattern at Miss Flewitt's class at Fort Concho Elementary. So we've disassembled the book. This is our recycling project this year. We've taken it all apart. That's cash in the bottom with the book. And there's little sheep on the cover. So we are making a book to distribute to all of our elementary students. Our first run will be 12,000. We'll include our private schools and some of our other schools. But we're very, very excited. We are making the pages just a little bit bigger and putting the poems so that they don't cover the illustrations. So just couldn't be more proud of that. And TxDOT, of course, they gave us that barrel. Again, we just want to tell you thank you so much for everything that you've done to contribute to our success. San Angelo is a remarkable community worth preserving and safeguarding, where humans and nature can coexist in harmony and champion the sustainability of the environment. Your contribution to this end is commendable. We appreciate all the resources that you've provided that have led to our success. And I just want to show you, this is what the plastic mat looks like from what Ella does. I met with the ladies in Mertzen, and I took them a lot of yarn because they do other projects. But this is just really phenomenal. It's 6 feet long, so the gray would be Walmart bags, and the white are the HEB bags. This is a washable product, and if you just want to feel it, it's just really unbelievable to think that it looks like a rug.
It sure does.
But so this is when they roll the threads together and make it all yarn. So we provided a bag of goodies for you. There's flyers for all of our events. There's a KSAB snapshot in there. Again, October the 14th is the fall sweep. We encourage everybody to continue to bring us teams. We want to get those numbers double from last year. The tree giveaway, that will be on October the 27th at Olive's Nursery. We'll be rolling and stacking tires again on November the 4th. And then our KSAB Junior Ambassadors, if you have any kids that are interested in that kickoff is going to be November the 8th, and we'll be having a great event. The kids will take a pledge. And again, we'll be showing the HEB shorts. And do we have any questions? I hope that wasn't too long. We did okay. Yes, everything's in there. And we did put you a sample of our coffee, and it looks like you've got some butterfly food in there, so throw those in a planter. There's also a little mini beeswax lip gloss, so that's in there in the bottom. There's a little gel pack. You can freeze it or warm it up if you ever have an ache or a pain. Nora uses hers a lot. Anyhow, thank you again. We're just so proud to be with you. Again, 276 events, and that doesn't include this year. About 1,700 volunteers, probably close to 6,000 hours. That's up to about a $200,000 value to our community. Again, fostering a love of the environment, team building, and intentional. We're not random anymore. We're very intentional acts of service to keep our city beautiful and impact the quality of life. So thank you again on behalf of our board, all the volunteers. We appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, Charlotte.
There's a few of our sponsors up there, so we love that. That's Miss Fluid at the top from Fort Concho.
Okay. Thanks, Charlotte. I just wanted to take a moment and say, KSABs began a long time ago, and then it felt dormant. But then when they got a hold of Charlotte to do the program, this program has just livened up and has done nothing but give a quality of life for our community. And I just want to say thank you to Charlotte, because we see her every day, Bob and I do, and the work that she does for our community is just so amazing. Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you. Okay. We'll move on to C, discussion and possible actions regarding strategic priorities, and appoint a subcommittee to review Coastal DC policies. Presentation by Michael Dane.
Good morning, Michael Dane, Interim Economic Development Director. We've had a couple of meetings where we talked about strategic priorities, and I think we're ready to wrap it up and get down the road on this. We think transportation enhancement, planes, trains, and automobiles is obviously a priority, with projects at the rail park, projects at the airport, and we think it belongs on the list. Business recruitment and business retention expansion, the BREP program, obviously that's a priority, and we do that through our contract with the chamber. And through the industrial park. And then quality of life, we think is a priority. Long-term water supply, the ballot items, long-term water supply, affordable housing, and then other eligible projects we think fit into quality of life. We think those are our top broad categories for eligible expenditures. And we think that my recommendation is we adopt these as our strategic priorities. This doesn't get down into tasks. For example, one of the things we want to talk about on this item is a policy review and update, and we'll get to that in a minute. This just identifies that these are our priorities, And council didn't formally adopt priorities this year. I was hoping to align, make sure that ours followed with what they had adopted, but they have not changed or adopted a new set. I think this is consistent with what they've talked about in the past and what they talked about this year, but they didn't formally adopt a set. And so there's no requirement that we adopt a set of strategic priorities, but this does keep staff focused on let's stay in our lane, make sure we're chasing the right objectives. And so if you'd like to adopt a set of strategic priorities, this is what we'd recommend. And then in addition to that, we need to start reviewing policy and bringing updates. And we can do that on our own, bring them to the board. We also have talked about a subcommittee to work through that, and we'll be glad to work with you either way.
Any comments or feedback from the board?
So we had a subcommittee looking at COSADC policies. I think I'm the only survivor from that. So
Congratulations.
it was not easy.
It is hard work.
So I felt like that was a constructive way for the board to be involved and address, some of this policy review. So I'd like to encourage some of my fellow directors to join me in that endeavor. What did we have, 3 folks on it? Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's 2 available slots, I'll leave it at that.
Dr. Jones, I will join you.
God bless
I
you,
won't
Dr.
make you stand alone in that great work.
Need at least one cool kid on the
Keep in mind that that's additional compensation equivalent to what you're already receiving. So if you're looking for a little bump.
Sure.
Cool. Anyone else?
Can we,
I'll do it.
all right, there we go.
We've served on a few. Why not another?
Yes,
All right,
Great.
then what we'll do is we'll get a list together. I think we probably email you a list and suggest some early, maybe some early easy things to kind of build a little momentum, and then we'll be interested in what you think is important for those next steps.
Cool. I like it. Good stuff. Do we need we don't need a motion for any of that, do we?
If you want to adopt strategic priorities and these are the ones you want to adopt, a motion and some action would be good. If you feel like by consensus, you feel good about this, we're a little bit, we can send Michael Looney out for anything and he'll try to land that fish and bring it home. We'll do the same thing, whether it's on the list or not. If it becomes a priority for the board, we'll chase it down the best we can. So
I think these are a good focus, and I would move that we adopt them as our strategic priorities for the coming future.
I agree and think that having a focus always helps everyone make better use of their time. So I'd second.
it does me.
All right, so we have a first by Director Bantu, for second by Director Gomez. Do we have any discussion from the board? If not, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, item D, public hearing regarding the expenditure of up to $2 million of sales and use tax funds as an economic development incentive to Angelo State University to partially fund construction of a flight training facility at Mathis Field in accordance with Texas Local Government Code, Section 505.159. Presentation by Bob Schneeman.
Good morning. This item is a public hearing for the ASU pilot training facility. The board may recall that at the last meeting, you approved a $2 million grant economic development incentive for ASU to build the pilot training facility. We're holding a public hearing because it's required by the Texas Municipal Code, Section 505, that we hold one public hearing before entering into any project and this is considered a project under the Economic Development Code. Just to go briefly over it, ASU has leased 3 acres just north of the Skyline hangar. That's an important relationship between Skyline and ASU because Skyline will be providing the pilots and the aircraft for the training program. They're planning on building about a 15,000 square foot facility. The total cost of that facility is going to be about $7.4 million. The program currently has, in the fall of 2023, has 87 students. They're looking in spring of 24 to add about 38 additional. They anticipated, when we put this slide together, 200 students plus or minus. Now they're looking at maybe more like 250. And the program is a Bachelor of Commercial Aviation. In addition to that, they get their flight hours, what have you, and they work their way through classroom and simulator training for a flight certificate through a certified flight instructor and instrument instructor. And then they build time towards their airline pilot certificate. It's a good program. Skyline, like I say, is under contract with ASU to provide the aircraft and at least the initial instructor pilots. They have 18 aircraft now, 6 more on order. They'll need about 30 total to handle the anticipated load for the 200 plus students. That's even going to go up a little bit more. I think now it's going to be even a few more aircraft than that. And these aircraft run about 300,000 plus per aircraft. They're also looking at some rotary wing aircraft in the program. Direct employment, there'll be 32 flight instructors currently. They'll need 40 plus for the 200 students. As I said, they leased 3 acres from the airport and they're building a 15,000 square foot building. This says $6 million. The latest is about $7.4 million on the building. They anticipate $2 million from an EDA grant. ASU's putting up $2 million. They've requested and received $2 million from us, and that leaves them still about $1.4 million short of their goal. And they're working towards that now. Questions? Okay,
we're good.
we open it for a public hearing?
Okay.
For public
yeah,
comment?
We will open it up for public comment. It is 9:08. Do we have any public comment? Seeing none, we will close it for public comment, 9:08.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
We need anything else on that? Brandon, we're good? Okay. So we'll move on to item E. Consider approving a resolution authorizing a project under chapters 501 and 505 of the Texas Local Government Code to utilize sales and use tax funds in an amount not to exceed $29,700 as an economic development incentive to Lip Chip LLC, subject to City Council approval and authorizing the board president to negotiate and execute all necessary documents. Presentation by Bob Schneeman.
Thank you. This item is concerning Lip Chip LLC and a proposed incentive for the company. It's kind of an exciting project. They are going to be manufacturing a microchip that is inserted in a horse's lip, and it monitors a number of the health functions of a horse, and they can monitor that remotely up to about 300 yards. There's a product that's currently on the market. I believe they've implanted in sort of the nasal cartilage. They've had some issues with it, not Lip Chip, but another company. It tends to migrate, and it also has a very short range for remote monitoring. So this is really an advancement, and it's also going to sort of bring San Angelo into at least the idea of chip manufacturing, which has been in the news quite a bit lately for Texas. So it's an exciting project. They have, the company is really heavily involved in the rodeo here and other functions. You can see there's they're doing the ladies breakaway roping event, October 26th, out at the Spur Arena. It's going to be a big event, $50,000 prize money. So they're really involved in the community. They're proud to be from San Angelo, and they're really, I think, represent San Angelo well. Their total capital investment is going to be about $20 million for the facility and about $8.6 million for equipment. They currently have 7 employees and are looking to hire probably an additional 18. Average salary is $37,000 a year with a total anticipated payroll of $1.25 million per year. Now, they're going to be located in the ETJ, which is outside the city limits of San Angelo, but in the extraterritorial jurisdiction. That makes it an eligible project for Costa DC, but it's hard to get a rate of return on our investment with that because they won't be paying city taxes. We looked at this project, ran it through our model. They are also seeking incentives from the governor's office and from the county. They are in discussions with the county about a potential tax abatement, but nothing final has been decided there. The governor's office is very in favor of this project. That's where the bulk of their grant money will probably come from. But one of the requirements for the governor's office is that there be local support. So the staff is proposing an incentive for $1,650 per full-time employee equivalent, up to 18 employees. That would be a total incentive of $29,700. And the return on investment, of course, as I said, there's no property tax involved, but if you think about it, they're going to be spending their money in San Angelo. The model says about 7.6 years for return on our investment. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the board? No. So Bob, as far as the incentive per employee, what's the timeline for them to reach that number?
I would think we would probably look at maybe up to 5 years. If they're building a $20 million facility, they're probably going to be, that's going to take them a while to get that built, get the equipment in, get everything running. So I would say probably a 5-year run on that would be reasonable.
Okay. Cool. Any other questions or comments from the board? No? All right, so then, at this point, then we would need a motion from the board to move forward.
I move that we fund the $29,700 incentive.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first by Director Jones, second by Director Mahaffey. Any discussion from the board? All those in favor?
We do need public comment on this one.
Oh, we do,
Next.
okay. Sounds good. Well, we'll open it up. It's 9:14 for any public comment. Do we have any public comment? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Bob. Okay. Well, it is 9:14, and we will move on to closed session. Executive session under the provision of Government Code Title V, Open Government Ethics, Subtitle A, Open Government Chapter 551, Open Meeting Subchapter D, exceptions to requirements that meeting be open under the following sections. A, Section 551.071, consultation with attorney regarding economic development agreement with Skyline Aviation. And B, Section 551.072, deliberations about real property regarding RFP RE-01-23, Sarah R. Robertson Survey 178. It is 9:15 now, and we are in closed session. Thank you, everyone. 49, we are back from closed session. We'll go start with item 7, follow-up and administrative issues. A, consideration and possible action of items discussed in closed session if needed, and there are none. So we'll move to B, announcements and consideration of future agenda items. So, know that there was discussion about a possible field trip.
We did talk about trying to hit field trips on a semi-regular basis, visit locations. We can consider that again. I'm not sure, maybe one more this year, one this year, and then get into the holidays and think about not another one till the new calendar year. A, are you up for one? Do you want one? And B, what do you have in mind?
Did we do one on affordable housing that I missed?
We have not done affordable housing. One of the things we talked about was trying to get a bus and ride through the area and have Bob talk to us about what was and what is and what made the difference. That would be appropriate. We think that looking at the affordable housing program and policy is something we ought to tackle. So if that's what we want to try to do, we'll try to fix something up.
I know it's also been a while since we went out to the airport and kind of did a ride around on that property. Is it,
We did that about a year ago,
is it
before you
worth
came
looking
on.
at that again, now knowing what we now know and being able to look at what we want to look at now?
Two things. A, we can get it in the queue for a field trip, and B, Jeremy is glad to show people around. So if any of you wants to do any of that before we get it, before it comes up in the field trip queue, we can make that happen for you.
Yeah, we did the airport.
I feel like we just did.
Yeah, we did the airport probably about 2 months ago, but I know a few were not able to attend, so so if you would like, we can get something scheduled with Jeremy, like Michael said.
Well, maybe that's one that's at next year.
Oh, okay.
I think affordable housing should come first.
Okay.
Yeah, spring of the year, there'll be a lot of activity out at the airport.
We could table that for maybe January or February, the airport, see some progress. But yeah, I like the idea of the affordable housing. Kind of get with
All
Bob.
right,
Do you want
we'll
to
see
do
what
it-
we can put together.
Yeah, do you want to do it after the next meeting in October, or did we talk about doing it on separate days?
Separate days, if you don't mind.
Yeah, okay.
I need to carve out some time to do my real job.
Same time of day, first thing in the morning?
Sure. Friday's good for people, Friday morning?
No,
No?
Not Friday.
Thursday?
not for
No,
me.
not for Friday, okay.
Thursday mornings?
Why don't we check and see what Bob's calendar looks like, see if we can get John Austin to help us with transportation, and we'll go from there. Is everybody pretty interested in going, or are we going to have a full group? If we can make it happen on the right time?
Monday is good for me.
I mean, even a Wednesday. I mean,
Yep.
Wednesday's good, just obviously not the day of the meeting.
Yep, can do all those.
All right, we'll look in the October, November timeframe before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Also in November, remember, I think we have the business plan competition results,
That's correct.
and we're trying
We're making the
to
announcement.
figure out how to make that work smoothly.
Yeah, one thing came to mind too, maybe a possible future agenda item when Desiree was presenting in the BRC partners, the Concho Valley workforce and downtown San Angelo. I don't know if that would be appropriate or not for them to come out here and do anything, but it'd be good to kind of get an update of what kind of they're up to and.
We are talking about stirring up some semi-regular meetings with some of those partners, just to make sure we all know each other. Would you like a presentation from them? Would you like them to be part of those partner meetings? What would you like?
Yeah, I mean, at this stage, I mean, I think a presentation, kind of what like Desiree and Charlotte did today would be good, just to give us
Got it down.
some insight, and then, you know, I'm open to the partnership meetings as well, but
Okay.
I think at least as a starting point, something like that.
Okay,
All right,
got it
Sounds
down.
like an agreement, yeah.
sounds good.
Cool. All right, well, do we have anything else? All right, if not, then it is, let's see my time here, 9:54. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. All right, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.